This video is about the substantially bad experience I had, extremely bad experience I had in dealing with a really bad buyer on eBay when I bought myself a e-bike. It goes on for quite a while, so rather than doing that, a quick summary of what you shouldn't do or what you should and shouldn't do when buying something on eBay. Number one, only correspond with sellers via the eBay system. Never use the seller's email address. That way everything's done on eBay and they know what's going on. 2, only deal with sellers that have a 99% feedback rating and have many feedbacks. Anything less is bad because of the way eBay feedback rating system works. Number 3, change the feedback to show negative reviews and read them. The default is to only show positive reviews or neutral reviews. Number 4, look for other sellers that have the same or similar described items and check out their reviews. You may find it's actually the same seller. The bad sellers spread their risk around of bad feedback and getting kicked off of eBay by having multiple eBay sellers. If what you get is not as described, follow the eBay return and get a refund process. Otherwise, the bad sellers will continue on eBay. And lastly, do not believe anything the seller writes to you without checking it out on eBay's website. This video is about the extremely bad experience I had in buying an e-bike off eBay, and it serves as a indicator of what you should not do when you're buying substantial cost items on eBay. I've had an e-bike for about the last 5 years, and I had one that I bought from Kogan, and overall they supplied 3 bikes over that period of time, but eventually I had to send it back because it developed a crack in the frame. Fortunately, they refunded all my money, so I decided I wanted to buy a new bike. So I looked around on eBay and to get a bike that this had a little bit longer range and a little bit more power, and I discovered this one. On looking at the ad, I wasn't sure how much power this bike had, so I looked at the specifications and it said 1000 watt, 1000 W. 1000 watt I assumed that would be. So to make sure, I actually contacted the seller and sent an email via eBay and asked a question and got an answer. All the correspondence I had with the seller and also some of it with eBay, I recorded on my website. So here it is. So before I actually bought the bike, because I was a bit curious about some things, I actually wrote to the seller and asked some questions. This is one of my questions. I said, is the motor rated at 1000 watts or is it just the model motor code that is 1000 W? I asked because usually the hub for a 1000 watt motor is bigger than what's shown in the photos. And I got this reply on the 13th of September 2024 at 6:11 p.m. Dear friends, thank you for your email again. I've never written to them before, but now that's interesting. It is rated power 1000 W. So would you please don't worry if you okay. Our price is lower on the internet. You can check it. If you are okay, we will ship to you from Sydney or Melbourne, or you can pick it up, and we offer free returns and exchange, and we guarantee the quality for 3 years. Best regards, Lily. Okay, that was on the 22nd of September at 8:14. I received that reply. I also received a reply to another question I asked, which was quite a bit later. Does it come with a battery charger? Jeff, dear friends, thank you for your email again. Yes, the item includes the charge and battery, so please don't worry. We are a manufacturer, so we offer free returns and exchanges, and we guarantee the quality for 3 years. Best regards, Lily. Now, you'll probably notice that the spelling, the grammar isn't particularly good, and perhaps some of the spelling isn't too good. I wouldn't know about that. But I was a bit suspicious about that, but it sounded all okay. And I also checked the rating on eBay, and it seemed to have a good rating, all right? What I didn't do, and this is one of the things, is scroll down further on eBay's and look at the feedback that other people put in. But even if I did, I would have still been okay and I still would have ordered it. So I went ahead and ordered. So that's what I ordered. That's the information I ordered. All right. Okay. Now, after I ordered it, I actually got some other information. In addition to the order confirmation I received from eBay, I also received via an email from eBay this. Once again, not particularly good English, but anyway, let's read it. Thank you for your purchase from our shop. We will offer best service for you. First, we will ship to you from Sydney. The signing time varies with distance. I hope you can be patient. Wait it about 7 days. You can receive it. 2, I think that meant to be point 2. If you was received it, if it's flawed or doesn't like it, you can tell me. We can resolve for you, and we are sure to have you satisfied within 5 minutes. 3, if you can't install it or use it, you can send pic or video to us. This is my email box. It's got a number there, an email address there, that bit there, okay, all right. If we receive your video or picture, we will solve your problem and satisfy you immediately within 5 minutes. But if you have any other questions, I hope you can send email to me, my e-box. I hope. The most important thing is that we solve the problem through friendly negotiation. Are you okay? Looking forward to your reply. Have a nice day. Best regards, Yo-Yo. Didn't roll that one. Now that should have been a trigger to me, and that it wasn't, all right? What happened after that is there were a number of problems with the bike, which we'll discuss later in this video. But when I got back to them, I initially got back to them and said, rightio, there was something missing. The charger wasn't right. We can have a look at that later in this video. And they said, oh, they'll fix that up. No, they didn't reply. They didn't reply to this. So what I did is I emailed to this email address, that one there, right? And then I did get a reply, all right? So initially I didn't get a reply, but I did get one from that email address. That's the biggest mistake I made. I made that mistake in not knowing that what they're trying to do is circumvent the eBay policies by getting you to directly approach them, right? Circumventing eBay. And that's enough about that. I'll come back to some of this a bit more. This is the bike I bought on eBay. It's, as you can see, Lanta. The model is the XT600. But that's not what I ordered, all right? According to the thing, it was supposed to be a 1,000-watt motor with a 48-volt battery. Anyway, so when I first got it, it was all in a box. I'll show you a photo of the box. It was quite damaged, but the bike wasn't damaged. That was good. Just by the way, there's the motor. That's the only thing that's written on the motor. Go around the other side. All right. It's the only thing that's written on the motor. So I've got no idea if it's a 1,000-watt motor or not. Anyway, so when I first got it, I put it all together, rode it for a little, switched it on, rode it for a little while. However, when I first switched it on, I noticed this. Okay, if you press, I didn't realise at the time, but if you press this button a few times, you can go through what it is. It says it's 42 volts, not 48 volts. All right. Okay. When I first got the bike, I put it all together, rode around a little while, as I said, and then went to plug it in. When I went to plug it in, I took this little connector here, all right, went to plug it into there, and it doesn't go. Didn't fit. So for the first 2 weeks I had it, after the battery went flat, I couldn't use it. I had to just ride it as an ordinary bike because the battery went flat. After many, many weeks, much time, they eventually sent me another connector that does plug in. So you can charge it, all right? That's how it's supposed to plug in. So while I was waiting for it, I decided to look at the bike a little bit more detail. So what I'm going to do now is pick up the bike, upside down, and show you what I actually did. All right, move that out of the way. All right, up, down, and underneath the bike here is this. All right, there's that bolt there, and that's where all the wiring's coming out. So what I did is I pulled it all out, and I'll show you a photo of when I pulled out the controller and the battery. And I found out it's not 48 volts. So the bike is definitely not a 48 volt bike. The other thing is, let's just go ahead and get myself a magnet. Oh, eBay seems to be the bike that I ordered. Although, there it is. I think, yep. Get myself a magnet. A magnet on it. It sticks. According to the, it sticks. According to the specifications, it's supposed to be aluminium. Well, aluminium, magnets don't attract aluminium. So that's the other thing with the bike. All right, there's more to it than that. I'll show other things on other videos or the websites where I got it from. This on YouTube or eBay seems to be the bike that I ordered, although the ad might have changed since I originally ordered it. But this is the description, which I've got captured elsewhere, right? And this is the bike and the photos of the bike. You zoom in, you see there's nothing written anywhere to say that that's the name of the bike. On the bike, on the top thing, it's described as a 1000W fold electric. Nowhere does it ever say fold on the name on the bike that I received. So there's one photo of it. There's another photo of it. Once again, it's now described as a, whoops, go across, a Langtang. I think that's what e-bike. I think that's what's written on mine. Okay. So, but then there's other photos where it's described as the same bike, and then there's another photo where it's described as a, don't know what, can't see it. Right, no writing on that one. Okay. That's what's written on the ad. Same bike. So these are photos, different bikes. Now, remember it said 1000-watt motor because it had this, which is 800-watt peak power. I actually contacted them and said, is a 1000-watt motor or 800? And they said, yeah, don't worry, it's a 1000-watt motor. It wasn't. Okay. There's another photo of a bike. Once again, no writing on it. Okay, so what they're advertising is very hard to find out. That looks okay. Okay, I don't know what that's meant to be. I don't know if it go up of a 25 incline. If you pedaled, it might. Okay, the brakes. Okay, and the controller. That's not the controller. It was on my bike. The other information going down, right, is it says it's a 1000-watt electric 1000-watt foldable. Actually says foldable. What's not foldable? Is the name fold or is it a foldable bike? Everything's confusing. Mountain bike 48 volt. Mine wasn't 48 volt. Commuter. That powerful 1000-watt motor couldn't possibly be a 1000-watt motor if it's only 32 volt, not 48 volt. And Shimano 20-speed, 21-speed gears. I don't know what the gears are. When you go down and look at the somewhere it says here, oh, there's some ratings of some other people. Send feedback. My ratings don't seem to be there. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. The ratings I put there seem to have been removed. I've got a copy of it elsewhere, I think. All right. So it doesn't have the description of the bike here. Can't find the description. Items, full description, that's what I'm after. Okay. Full description seems to just be more advertising, not the haircut. This is what they say for power. The sturdy aluminium alloy. It's not aluminium. I put a magnet on it, it sticks. If it's aluminium, it wouldn't stick. Easy to assemble, water resistant for it, perhaps it is. Powerful 1000-watt motor. It's not a 1000-watt motor. I'm at 21 gears. That's not that brand gears. All right. 48 volts, not 48 volt. 10.4 mile removable, rechargeable. Oh, it's not that. I looked at the battery. I can show you photos of the battery, and it's not that. Okay. LED screen, like it comes, rest of it's okay. Features, sturdy aluminium alloy frame, it's not aluminium. 1000-watt motor, it's not 1000-watt. The gears aren't that brand gears, right? 46 volt, 10.4 removable battery. It's not 46 volts, it's only 32 volt. Okay. Range up to 60 kilometers. Will not get 60 kilometers on that size on the battery that it came with. Okay. That's it. Once again, it just repeats the same thing. I don't know about the rim size and aluminium. I haven't tested the rim size or the tires. Shift lever. I don't know what that means. Right. Rear derailleur. Seat bolt. Pure electric mileage. 60 kilometers. No way known to get 60 kilometers. Pedal assist. 70 to 80 kilometers. Perhaps if without the pedal motor at all, you can probably do 70 or 80 kilometers. Okay, so basically the bike isn't as described. And then also then down the bottom here, they've got this thing called push action. So who is this mob? Are they called push action? Or going up the top here, are they Wonderland? All right, it's hard to determine who you're dealing with. Anyway, the basic bottom line is the bike isn't as described. As a consequence, that's why I asked for a refund, and I'm having all sorts of difficulty getting a refund. Based on what I said before, I decided to put feedback on eBay. And as I've written here, I've written on a web page because of the above photos, which I've shown in this video before, and that I was not getting anywhere with their seller. I put this on eBay feedback. This is what I put on eBay. Bike I received was not as described. The name was not fold. It was not 48 volt. The battery is smaller than described. The battery is not removable. The motor is not 1000 watts. The charger connection did not fit the bike. I contacted them and requested a replacement charger. Was given a tracking number that shows the charger has never left them. Numerous emails resulted in non-understandable replies. They use an excuse not to have voice communication and that they did not have a PS, in other words, a PC, I think that's meant to be. I requested a full refund. However, this is another mistake I made. I requested to them at their email address for a full refund. And what the guy did straight away was turn around and say, okay, I'll give you a full refund if you remove the negative feedback. My argument was, well, the negative feedback is true. Why should I remove it? And we just kept going around in circles about removing the negative feedback. So eventually, I discovered I should contact eBay, and that's when I found out that what I've been doing is doing things incorrectly, corresponding with the seller via a private email address. What I should have been doing was doing it via the emails that go through eBay. So if I had done that, eBay would know what was going on, and he wouldn't have said to remove the negative feedback, because that is against the rules of Facebook, not Facebook, eBay. Eventually, I spent a whole day corresponding with him via email and then trying to contact him via various other methods, because he was in Hong Kong, it turns out. He eventually he ended up ringing me. That's how desperate he was to a certain extent. Anyway, I couldn't understand what he was saying because he was talking in broken English and also talking very fast, and I have a hearing problem. But basically, he got to the point where he said, "Oh, we can't come to an agreement." So that was it. From that point on, I started only corresponding via the eBay email system. In other words, doing it via their webpage. I actually put in a request for a return, and because the product was disclaimedly as not described, they would have to pay the return postage. But then became another issue. What happened is eBay have a situation whereby they say you can either request from the seller a label that you put on and return the item, or the seller can ask you to arrange the transportation, which is what they did. They asked me to arrange the transportation. I kept on saying, no, I don't want to arrange the transportation. You do it. Another phone call to eBay, and they said I have to do what they wanted. So we looked around for transportation. We did, and it was going to cost like $800 to transport the bike back with just a quick transportation looking up on the internet. Gave that information to them, and then straight away they turned around and said, no, we'll arrange the transportation. Then they said, righto, we'll do that. They sent me a label. The label they sent me was a teeny weeny little one, illegible. I couldn't read it. Got in contact with eBay again. eBay forwarded it on to me. The seller then said, we'll pick up the bike tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'd already told the seller we weren't going to be available that next day, and also I'd have to repackage the bike. That's another issue. The packaging that came with the bike was completely destroyed, so I would have had to arrange to get another packaging. So there was delays over a couple of days then. I had to, after the delay when we were away, got back from being away on holidays, I had to actually obtain another box, as I said, because the box that they came in was virtually completely destroyed when I opened it up, and it was damaged. So I got another box and packaged the whole thing. That took us about a day. In the meantime, when we went to send the bike back, we checked on the courier, and the courier said that label had expired. So we asked them for another label, and we went back and forth trying to, with their broken English and their really bad grammar, trying to work out what was going on. In the meantime, we kept eBay fully informed. We sent a whole lot of emails to eBay. Then they sent another label, and when we got the label, it was with the Australia Post label, which only had a postage for a 2 kilo item. We eventually, they were starting to run out of time because eBay imposed times on them. We put some more pressure on them, and they eventually sent us a label. But they were fighting all the way. Of today, which is Saturday the 19th of October 2024, the ad for this particular e-bike is still appearing on eBay, even though I have reported it a couple of weeks ago that it's falsely described. Also, if I go into the feedback for this particular person, it looks like when I first did it. Okay, just going back again there. All right, back to that particular ad. All right, it says 98.4% feedback, which sounds all right to me. Apparently, that's not good. All right, I go in there. It says accurate description 4.5, 4.8 out of 5. Okay. Look at the ratings, and it says this person said the feedback. The seller was excellent in communication. I disagree with that. Absolute awesome pram. Nothing to do with it. Awesome chairs. Not a particular thing. You have to go into all ratings and look at the negative ratings. And by the way, my rating didn't appear. Here's my rating. Now I've gone into 3 screens, and here's my rating that I put. Anyway, looking at other suppliers, also unhappy, and I don't see how we can get to the end of this list. It says sort downwards. I don't know. I don't know how you get to the list, but all I'm saying is it seems to be an algorithm that eBay are using so that the positive feedback looks okay to someone like myself. That's why I ordered it, but it's not, unless it's 99 or 99.5%, don't buy it. If you do a Google search on 1,000-watt e-bikes on eBay, for eBay, this is the result that you come up with. Notice the first result on the left there is the one that I bought, which is not a 1,000-watt e-bike. If I scroll across, there's lots of them, lots and lots and lots of them, all of a very similar or same price. So what I did is I went through and did a bit of an analysis on them and went into each of them and looked up some of the reviews. And this is what I came up with. This is my summary of the reviews. Okay, so each of the feedbacks say they got it with the wrong charger, wondering if there's a deliberate tactic. So each of the views, I got it with the wrong charger, and other people are saying the similar sort of thing on these particular ones here, those ones. I didn't go into all of them and have a look at them, and I'm not saying that they're all the same. But the problem is that I can't now go and buy a 1,000-watt e-bike because I think they're all from the same organisation. By the way, some of the wording that's used in it and some of the reviews that are used are identical. So how can 2 people have the identical review on 2 different suppliers? So something's being rigged along here, somewhere along the line. Don't know how. Obviously, there's a situation where it doesn't cost you anything on eBay to put an ad up. So therefore, you can put up thousands of them. And the more you put up, the more chance you've got of buying something. But basically, they're all the same organisation. They could be the same organisation. Working through the eBay system, this is our process. This is one of the bottom of one of the emails I received. So I can go in to view the order details. Comes up and it says you've got a refund of $1,086.45 was sent to you on the 1st of October. Was originally placed the order on the 22nd of September, and it took me until the 31st of October before I got a refund. All right, that's the item. It says show return details. I'll show the return details. Comes up. It says started delivered refund. It doesn't show its refund. This return is now a case. View the case details. So go into case details. And then it says here's the case outcome. We issued a refund. You should receive it in 3 to 5 business days. Well, it came onto the eBay said it was received, and then it ended up in my PayPal account, and then it took a couple of days to get from a PayPal back against my credit card. All right, outcome, the case was found in your favour. More information, you provided tracking information that shows the item was successfully returned to the seller's address, which I did. All right, there's the total value of it all. Okay, case history. All right, case summary, case history. All right, you requested a return, and that's the information I provide them. but also had a link there giving a lot more information. The thing that gives me the gripes about this whole situation is do all that, and underneath it at the bottom it says similar items. Here we go. We go to there, and there they are, still selling the same bike, right? Still selling the same bike, saying it's 1,000 watts, probably 48 volt, and it's not. They know it's not, and that's the same organisation still selling it. All right. eBay don't seem to want to shut this person down. If they are, they're taking a hell of a long time to do it. And the other thing is, right, if you go back, there's lots of other bikes which seem to be being either they're exactly the same, or based on what I showed before, it's they're exactly the same wording, exactly the same feedback, probably exactly the same thing, and eBay seem to keep letting it going. I've since discovered that there now are other reviews that are not negative reviews, but people have also mentioned that the bike isn't as described. So other people know that it's not a 1,000 watt 48 volt bike, but they're not putting it down as a negative review. I'm thinking possibly that the seller has done the same thing to those people that it did to me. You remove the negative feedback and I'll give you a refund, which is completely against eBay's policy. Anyway, that's all it.